Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to this week update. I'm your host, Dr. Peter. We are starting with DXY on the monthly chart. We still hold this view that we are yet to bottom. The question is, would we bottom this month or October? We can see this bullish candle that closed in July, and in August, we try to see the bears, force the price back to the downside, and had closed this way. Now, the odd favors more downside, but the question is, so far this month, this is what we have done to consolidate, to try to grab liquidity to the upside. Are we done with that? Would we still see more upside without breaking this top, or we are going straight down? But what we can see here on the monthly time frame is that the bears had managed to break lower than August slightly. You can see slightly they managed to break lower than August. That is what we can see. But this month of September is still unfolding. Are we going to bottom and begin to prepare to go back to the upside this month or in October? But it looks like from November, December upwards, we may be seeing price bouncing back to the upside. That is what it's looking like in terms of structure completion. But we'll see how that will play out. Now, let's go to the weekly time frame. We need to understand this to know how to navigate in the coming weeks. The weekly time frame, we can see that the pressure seems to be waning from the bears. These had been solid closures, but now we can see weak emerging, at the top, which means that there is a force. The buyers are trying to come to the market to force the price to the upside, but the sellers are still forcing it back to the downside. And that is evidence here. See, this week, 2, 3, 4, 5 week, it also shows that there are liquidity building upwards. Would we grab the liquidity immediately before going down? I don't see that for now, but that is telling us something that price will soon finish the move towards the downside to bounce to the upside to grab all this liquidity that is building up here. Grabbing this liquidity building up, probably in terms of a long-term correction or a change of trend to the upside. So that we will see. But for now, in the immediate, I don't see these. But these are indications that the bears are losing their grip. These are the indications they are losing their grip. So on the daily time frame, which would give us more mood. So we had been sideways. This is nothing but consolidation. We had managed to break the low, which is the low that we recorded here in August had been broken slightly now. So which means that the momentum favors the downside. So these looks corrective, like 3 waves, like we had seen, and A, B, C, O, W, X, Y of the wave 4, and these are building up as the ending structure. So for now, what we can see here is that marking a lower low here then probably we could see this as a W, this as an X structure, and probably this is a C or a Y or an ABC structure, which is complex. But now we may see this as building up as a 1 and a 2, which is its height here, or an A B, and we need more downside now. We need to go more downside. That is what the mood we are capturing here. But seeing the way this is going to close in another 2 hours, that will be on Sunday, we may be going more deeper to the upside to correct. Probably around, this is the candle that broke this structure here. Probably we may see price around this area, very close to it, to correct deeper before going further to the downside. That is what I can see. So on the 4-hour time frame, we can see this building up on the 4-hour time frame now, because we're now seeing a lower low, higher high, a lower low, and higher high, lower high, and another lower high. So in terms of the low, we can see this low, the low here, the lower low, and much more lower low here. So we are grinding to the downside, and the momentum now is shifting back to the downside. That is what we can see. Would we now see a correction that looks like this here? Is that what it is? So we'll find out. But this is sharp to the upside for now on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll see. But I would rather not want to sell from here. I would rather probably prefer price to finish whatever it's doing here. Go a bit deeper to this side, to this level or this level before I sell again. Euro dollar. Euro dollar is the same, but an inverse, we can see that price had broken this resistance here now. The price had broken it. For those that are not in the buy, the price, if it's going to give us something similar to this, we may get that here, bounce up again. We may get that here and bounce up again, but we need to finish this correction either as a 4th wave, if this is 1, 2, 3, either at the 4th wave or at a much deeper correction at a 1, 2, like this one, 1, 2, and this one as a 1, 2 for higher movement. The question is, are these done a 168 to the upside? If it didn't do 168 to the upside, then it doesn't look impulsive yet. So you might be thinking of a 1, 2 and a 1, 2 scenario. That is what you should expect. Let's dig it out. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame and let me dig it out for you, what I'm trying to say. Now, what we are saying is that this is 1 and this is 2. If this is more than 1618, then we should be looking for the 4th wave, more upside than an ABC correction of this entire run. But if it is not up to 1618, then we should be looking for a 1, 2 and a 1, 2 scenario, which probably will take this to around 650 or 618 correction. So let's look at it between that low here. We'll take it to the height of the 1st wave, which is here, then back down here from that pink or white to this area. Okay, this is more than 1618, so it could qualify for a wave 4. So if indeed is a wave 4, it shouldn't go beyond this area. Otherwise, this entire run may have finished itself as 4-5 here. But let's see what it's going to give us. But I don't want to push a buy from here. I want this to correct, finish, break up, and give me more correction to this area. So if I see price action around this area here, and area of this with 1 and a bit low here, probably within this yellow, yeah, we might take a buy. But for now, we had some order around this area, so there's no point, picking something from here. I would rather prefer it to go much deeper and take another shot at it to the upside. So let's go to pound USD. Now the momentum is shifting to the upside, and I don't see this backing down until we are breaking this now. What we need to break next is this resistance here, this resistance here. So once we break this resistance, that confirms we are going for that up. But already it's looking like we are going up. I rather want this to correct more deeper before we buy. So on pound USD, the same. Pound USD now, we need correction and up. So the correction probably around this area, without breaking this area now, is what I would need. Correction to this range without breaking this area, correction more upside. NZD USD. Momentum are building up right now. NZD USD. After recording this low now, we are breaking this low. This is an ABC, and so it's more complex correction here right now. So we are looking for, without breaking this low, probably a complete correction to the downside. Around this area, you should see more upside. USD JPY to dollar yen. It's looking the same. So we may have completed this as the first move here, ABC to the downside. Then probably we have AWXY now, and we are coming to the downside as a 1, 2, 3, or an ABC. We'll see. The correction of also here around this area to this area, where this book out between here and here, any correction, deep correction, so we can look for further sell to the downside. Euro yen is still consolidating. We are yet to get to where we are going. So we are seeing probably the final wave building up. This looks like we have finished with 4 here, and this is with 2, with 1, and with 2 correction here, and we are building up with 3 to the upside. This also might be finishing its upside movement about the same time the Euro is peaking, Euro USD is peaking, and then we might be seeing some fall, here, but not immediately now. So we need to finish up this to the upside. So if price will break down again, then we can look for a further buy. If that would happen, that may be more complex here, like an A, B, and a C to break down, and we can look for further buy. Then the last one is gold. For gold, what I want you to see now, after let me go to the daily first for you to see what we are capturing on gold and the right place to look for your order. Now, we had managed to break this height now. So we need price to correct close to this height, around 3,500 area, 3,506 area, before we look for further buy. Now, This triad here, A, B, C, is A. So we have a B wave, a C wave, a D wave, and the E wave. Now, with this E wave, we are done. Then we now see A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3 building up to finish up the last wave 5. That is what it is now. So, ideally, taking the length from here to this area and putting it right here at the base where this thing started might be an ideal place to begin to look for your exit to the upside. But again, we still have to look at the internal structure of this wave. Now, this wave in itself is looking like a 1 and a 2. It has passed an ABC because it has broken well beyond 1618. It has even broken slightly beyond 2. Yeah, it's more than double now. It's more than double now. But we need to see wave 4. If this is wave 2 here, we need to see something similar here, something like this here, to tell us that that will be the last wave to the downside before we have the last push. So if you're not in a buy, wait for this. This is what you are going to wait for. And one of the things that will tell you that this had played out here as a wave 4 is once you break the trend support here, breaking the trend support slightly and coming around this area will tell you that that is wave 4 that you have done, you have completed. We are yet to see that wave 4 now. We are still seeing the internal structure of wave 3 playing out. Would we be seeing that this week? Then we need to wait and see. So going back to the 4-hour time frame, if you don't know anything, this is what you begin to now look for now. 1, a 2, then the third wave. If I bring out my drawing now, this trend support would need to be violated somewhere. We are still far away, so there's no loss of momentum yet that we are seeing. Would we get that this week? Then this is the area we are looking for. If we get it this week, and this will go down and compromise this, or around this area, we may have it. Otherwise, all I want to see from now is if it's correcting, going up, dragging up, I will allow it to drag up. But I still need, once I see a similar correction here, it could be a zigzag to the downside, a sharp zigzag to the downside. If I see that, then we'll take it. This one looks more like a WXY to the downside. Probably it might give us a zigzag here, which will touch around this area. So, but once we see a deeper correction that looks like this in length, then that is with 4, then the last push, then we should get out of our buy. But for now, it's still a buy. Do I want to sell? I don't want to sell because it's dangerous selling. Let them do the corrections and you can now look for further buy. So with that, I've come to the end of today's weekly or this week update. Happy trading. Do like, subscribe, share this link with friends, encourage them to subscribe to grow this community. Thank you.